What's up, folks? This is Scott. Recently, I've seen a lot of videos and people talking about Common Core math, how it makes no sense. There's a lot of different comments that are going around. In particular, I'm talking about a video that has to deal with area multiplication. There's people saying that why would we teach our kids to do math this way? This makes no sense. This is useless. There's a lot of different comments. I could run through them, but I'm sure you guys have either seen them or had the same thoughts yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a few different ways to solve a multiplication problem and show you how that the Common Core math actually makes sense when you look at the area multiplication and how it can easily translate into some stuff that we learn in higher math, like basic algebra that you learn in grade school. So traditionally, when it comes to two-digit multiplication, we're learned to multiply the terms and then add them through, right? So if I wanted to take a number such as, let's say I want to multiply 69 and 13. What we traditionally do is we multiply these terms. So 3 times 9 is 27, carry the 2. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20. Now we're going to start here in the tens place, so we fill the ones place with a 0. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 6 is 6. And then we add these, 7, 9, 8. So this is how we are traditionally taught to do two-digit multiplication. The Common Core way is to use this, what's called area mathematics, or area multiplication, sorry. So what they do with this area multiplication is they draw this box. I don't need to make it that big. They draw this box, right? Now, if I want to solve this problem of 69 times 13, what they do is they break it into pieces. So we know that 69 is nothing other than 60 plus 9, right? So I can say 60 plus 9. And then what they do is they split that box in half, right in that plus sign. And then they do the same thing with the 13s, right? So 13 is nothing more than 10 plus 3, right? And then they split that box into half there. So we're left with 4 parts. And what we're going to do is we're going to multiply these things through, right? Multiply and add. So first thing, so for this box, we multiply the 10 times the 60, which gives us 600. We multiply the 10 by the 9, which gives us 90. We do the same thing down here. 3 times 60 is 180. 3 times 9 is 27. And then what you do is you add the rows and then add that column, or this would be what in higher level math we call it our marginals, right? So let's say we're going to add these boxes. 600 plus 90 is just 690. 180 plus 27 is 207. And we can do the same thing down here, right? Because no matter what, it's going to add the same. So 600 plus 180 is just 780. 90 plus 27 is nothing more than 117, right? And then we could, let's get rid of this line. We could say, no matter how you want to look at it, we know that 180 plus 117, and I can write right here so we can make it a little more sense, is nothing more than 980 is 897, right? And we know that 690 plus 207 is nothing more than 897, right? I'm just going to erase this because we don't really need it. And then what you see is that this is equal to that, right? So this is how we're traditionally taught it. And this is the Common Core area multiplication way of solving it. Now let me relate this to basic algebra, right? So in basic algebra, and what I'm first going to do is I'm going to use an algebra equation to solve it, and then I'm going to relate it back to numbers, okay? So in algebra, we're given a couple of terms, and we're told to multiply it through and expand it, right? So if we have something like this, x plus 3, and we're going to multiply it by x plus 2, we're taught a little thing called FOIL, right? So FOIL, which is nothing more than first outside, inside, last. And some of you probably looking at me like, what is that? I don't remember 7th grade, 5th grade, whatever mathematics. Okay, so let's take a look at it. So what we're going to do to expand this term, this equation, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the first terms. So that's going to be x squared. Now we're going to multiply the outside terms right here. And I'm gonna offset this. It'll make sense in a second, right? We're going to have 2x. Then we're going to multiply the inside terms. This would be 3x. And then we're going to multiply the last terms. That's going to be, 6? And then what we do is we add them. X squared plus 5x plus 6. This is how we solve a problem using the FOIL method. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this area mathematics, right? This is nothing different than this, right? Well, not the same, right? Because we've got letters in here and we're dealing with just numbers. But it's nothing different than this process here, okay? So let's say we want to do, again, we're going to do 69 times 13. Now just like we saw up here and here, we can write these terms out differently, right? So we can now write 60 plus 9, 10 plus 3, which is nothing more than taking the 60 plus 9, right? We got this here. This is a different color. We've got this box here. And then we've got this addition here. I probably shouldn't have do that, but whatever. So let's now take a look at how do we FOIL this. Well, what we do is we take our first terms, right? We take 60 times 10, and we have 600. We take our outside terms. 60 times 3 is 180. We take our inside terms. 9 times 10 is 90. And then we take our last terms. First, outside, inside, last. We take our last terms, sorry. And we multiply these. 9 times 3, which is 27. And then we add, right? 0, 0, 0, we got 7. 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 9, 8 is 19. 6 plus 1 is 2. We see that this amount is equal to that, right? And we already know that that amount is equal to this, which by induction, right, use math terms, we see that this is equal to this, right? So all three of these problems solve the same thing. And now let me relate this one more step back to Common Core math. We see right here, we did that 60 times 10. That's nothing more than this box, right? And we can do the same with all of these boxes. And what you start to realize is that this Common Core method here, this area multiplication, this is nothing more than solving it like an algebra equation, but using FOIL. and personally, and I'm going to get on a philosophical note right here. Personally, if we start to learn how to do things kind of this way, right? And if we do the multiplication this way, we set ourselves up for a better understanding of doing it this way, right? And there's no secret that the United States and our education is lacking behind on other countries in this world. We get dominated in the STEM categories, such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The common denominator between all of those categories is mathematics, right? Science, technology, and engineering, they're all heavy mathematics based, right? And so I think it's Albert Einstein that was once is quoted as saying, we cannot solve a problem using the same level of thinking that created the problem, right? So the reason, if mathematics is the common denominator between those STEM categories, right, and the way that we learn mathematics, then that is the cause of that problem, right? Because if people don't understand mathematics, then they're not going to be able to succeed and understand the STEM categories. So our problem is the way that we have learned. And the only way to solve that problem is with a different level of thinking. I hope that this kind of helped to make some sense as to how the area multiplication works. If you got any other questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. Feel free to shoot me questions, ask questions in the comments, or if you want, you can send me a picture of whatever math problem that you have. I'll do my best to solve it and give you an answer. I'll also make a video. I'll upload it to my YouTube channel and attempt to explain it for you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, but this is